Okay, this has the potential of being a very long video. So rather than me blather on nonsensical little things, I'm just going to say first off that I did do something for New Year's Eve, which is unlike me. Usually I stayed at home and watched everybody else have fun on television, but this time I went out and had a pretty good time. And here's a few shots of that. We hardly ever get together anymore, you know. So since we got our divorce, you know, we're just
no. It's, you know, we've had to go our own separate ways.
Yeah.
But here we are sharing it because this is Brent's night of going to visit the exes. So.
Yeah, the exes is a big thing tonight. All of a sudden, we're really close to one another.
Oh, Brent, this is where we always wanted to be.
This is exactly where we wanted to be. This is my friend Steve, and he and I have known each other for 1,000 years. We were even roommates once.
Yeah.
Which means I saw him naked a couple of times.
Yeah, I saw him naked too.
Yeah, so there's a lot of nudity going on in those days.
This is kind of big. Well, his dick's bigger than half. $50 though.
Oh, wow. Bless your heart.
Draw! Draw!
Happy New Year! And there's a lot more stories there, but rather than bore you with the sort of details of my night on the town on New Year's Eve, I'll go through my 10 favorite CDs of last year. And we'll start off with Booker T. Jones, the Road from Memphis, which my friend Dylan and Jake told me about at Budget, which is where I buy my CDs. Very good CD, some guest vocalists here and there. Booker T. Jones, who would have thought I would have, I guess I wasn't in the mood for it at the time, but this made me in the mood for it, and it made my top 10. What can I say? Alice Cooper, Welcome to My Nightmare 2, which is a follow-up from his Welcome to My Nightmare from thousands of years ago, and pairs him up with Bob Ezrin again, producing. And also his old band got together on this CD for a few songs, and some good stuff. Apparently they played together recently as well. A bit of Alice Cooper. I've always loved him and always will. He's a great man and a wonderful person on top of it. Peter Gabriel, New Blood, which is a bunch of songs from previous albums that he redid orchestrally, and a very fine work here. Not all of them were hits, but that's okay. But Salisbury Hill is on here, so that was one big hit that's on it. It was quite good. In Your Eyes, Red Rain, but he picked songs that would be good to do with an orchestra, and very fine work at that. David Lynch, Crazy Clown Time, which is it's David Lynch. If you love David Lynch like I love David Lynch, this is a great CD. He's a great director and actually a very good musician as well. It really does have that Lynchian sound to it. Twangy guitars and a very dark atmosphere, and I loved it for that alone. There is one dance song on here actually, Good Day Today, which is very dancey. It's kind of out of the blue to hear that, but still has a really dark edge to it. So very Lynch-ish. Wilco, The Whole Love, which made me want to start listening to old Wilco again because it's a little bit more like older Wilco. But yeah, it was very good pop album, I guess you want to say. But I loved the packaging. I loved everything about it. I loved what they did, and anything that will make me go back and listen to the other catalog must be a good CD for that alone. I almost lost it there. Okay, Paul Simon, So Beautiful, So What. I love Paul Simon. I love his music, and I always have. And this is a beautiful CD. Just turned 70 years old, and all these guys who are turning 65 and 70 years old give us all hope that there's even more to be had after 50, and this proves it. He sings like Paul Simon. He's still Paul Simon, and it's beautiful stuff. So glad he's still doing music, still doing the stuff. Kate Bush, who I also love, 50 Words for Snow, which is actually her second CD this year, but this is all new material, and they're all long songs, slow songs, but they're those kind of long songs that end up sounding like they're only 3 minutes long, even though they're 8 minutes long. But I can't wait for it to blizzard outside so I can listen to this CD in a blizzard, because I think that's where it needs to be heard, is in that sort of environment. And very beautiful. There you are. Drums Between the Bells by Brian Eno, and also Rick Holland as well, who did the poetry for this. Usually I never like albums that have poetry on them, because I think that music then becomes this sort of background thing that isn't important anymore. But Eno makes it important. This is truly, I think, the best CD he's done of this type of music since Music for Airports, since The Pearl, since all that early ambient stuff. Even though it's not, it is ambient, but in a different way. There's been much time passed in there, and this shows it. But I really love the fact that he's used different voices to do the poetry, and I think that was the key right there. It gives every one of the pieces of music personality, and very beautiful stuff. Top grade for that. Now we're down to the last two. Foster the People, Torches. I love this thing. Fantastic work. Pumped Up Kicks was a great hit single. But there's not a bad song on this CD. It's all fantastic. I worry that they're going to be the men at work of this generation. They'll have a couple, 3 hits and one big hit, and then we'll never hear from them again. But who knows? Maybe they'll stick around for a good long time, and hopefully they will. But this was a very, very fine CD, and I've been telling everybody about this thing. The drums, Portamento. What a great CD. This is fantastic. There is not a bad cut on this thing. Very minimal, simple songwriting, but what they do with vocals is fantastic. That's the key right there. And also little sounds here and there, but very, very sparse, very, very interesting in that way. I read about them in New York Magazine and just gave them a try online, and I truly, truly love this CD. It's been on my playlist since I bought it. I don't think there's a time where I haven't been working out where I don't have this CD on, which is quite amazing. Now, I want to mention 3 local, regional CDs. Living as a Dying Art by High on Stress. I know High on Stress. Obviously, I did their video for them. But I love the band. I don't do videos for bands that I don't really believe in. I don't, and I do with them. They're fantastic. I've known Nick for many years, and I've watched him grow as an artist, and he's just gotten better and better and better and more insightful. And and yes, everyone says they're highly influenced by the Replacements, and I guess so. But I like them for being high on stress. They have a sound of their own, as far as I'm concerned. And definitely, if you're looking for a CD to buy that's a regional CD, start with High on Stress. It's fantastic. This one, I don't know that you can find or get in any way, which is a shame. 58 by Micah Scott. This is fantastic work. This is he recorded it on a 4-track cassette machine, and it's amazing. It's like you're going through a film. And he says to play it only with headphones, and I agree. Play it with headphones, and sit there and actually listen to it, and really intently listen to it. It's an amazing piece of work, and from an amazing artist. Another person I'm very happy to have known in my life, and happy to have had a copy of this in my hand, and I cherish it. It's fantastic. Also want to mention Adam's Right. Just heard a little bit of them a while ago, and I really like this particular record for many reasons. I love the cover. It's a fantastic cover. And I don't have a record player yet, so I had to listen to it online. But they're fantastic musicians. They're kind of the cream of the crop around Minot right now. And it's just a joy to listen to them for that alone. So there you go. They go on my list. And that's about it. I'm running out of time here, and I got to get going. And so until next time, I will talk to you soon. And yeah, see you later.